in this video we're going over the new top 5 best guns to use after the Modern Warfare 3 Season 2 Reloaded update. Some weapons receive buffs, some weapons receive nerfs, and it's time to go ahead and change up all your class setups. So with all being said, feel free, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, and as always, let me know down in the comment section, what is your favorite gun to use in Modern Warfare 3 as of right now? And by the way, if you need help leveling up your weapons but don't have enough time to play, Brown Magician is your solution. From unlocking all your attachments to getting gilded and interstellar camo, they offer legit services on Modern Warfare 2 as well as 3. Check them out down in the description. For the first class setup, we're taking a look at the brand new SOA Subverter. This battle rifle is a part of the Modern Warfare 3 meta. These class setups are all going to help you get your first MGB nuke, or at the very least improve your KD ratio. Now for the muzzle, we are going to be rocking the T51R Billeted Break L. This is fantastic on this weapon. It's going to be mitigating a lot of the annoying recoil. We're going to have increased vertical recoil as well as firing aiming stability, which is going to be a huge plus here. Now, we are going to run a barrel on the setup, and I highly recommend you guys rocking the Dozer 90 long barrel. This is a fantastic attachment on the SOA Subverter, allowing us to increase that long range potential with improved bullet velocity and range, firing aiming stability, gun kick control, and recoil control. We're going to need this so we can combat a lot of the BAS-B users. Now, for the underbarrel, we are going to be rocking the Bruin Heavy Support Grip. This is a match made in heaven for the SOA Subverter, going ahead and smoothing out the recoil pattern, giving us a very easy to use high damage weapon. We're going to have increased gun kick control, aim out of sway controllability, horizontal recoil, and firing aiming stability at our disposal. Overall, a great attachment to run on any weapon here in Modern Warfare 3 that you intend to use at longer ranges. Now, because this gun only has 20 rounds, we have to run a magazine, and I highly recommend running the 50-round drum on this weapon, just so you can take out multiple people at the same time and also kind of outshine the BAS-B in the ammo capacity department. This is going to be a great attachment on this weapon, and it's not going to hinder you nearly as much as you would think. And then finally, because this gun is a precision rifle, we are going to run an optic, and the Jack Glassless is phenomenal for this setup here, going ahead and bumping up that firing aiming stability, giving us a clean optic picture, and also removing a lot of the annoying visual recoil, which plagues a lot of Modern Warfare 3 as well as Modern Warfare 2 weapons. Once you jump into the firing range, you're going to see here that this weapon is going to be nasty. We have a respectable ADS for a battle rifle, and you're going to have very, very controllable recoil, and a weapon that's going to have a very nice time to kill. Do not sleep on this gun. If you have it unlocked, get it leveled up so you guys can go ahead and terrorize a lot of the BAS-B users. Now for the secondary, we are going to be going ahead and running the Core 45. This actually received a buff this update, and I run it on all of my class setups. We are going to be rocking the conversion kit, effectively transforming this into a submachine gun. This specifically received a buff, making it a lot better at all ranges, and it is very noticeable. You can arguably run around with this as like a primary weapon because it's that effective. Now, we also are going to be running the 40-round drum on this class setup to give us more ammo because the fire rate is going to be drastically improved. We are going to be rocking the Exoskeletal Vertical Grip to bump up that recoil control as well as aim down sight speed. Overall, a great attachment. We have on the Colossus Suppressor XS version for more recoil control and obviously taking us off the radar. And because we have on the conversion kit, we can rock the Precision Stock, which is going to be bumping up gun kick and recoil control, a very nice attachment for this pistol submachine gun. When you jump in the firing range, you're going to see here, this is actually a very, very solid weapon because we're going to have respectable AES. And as you guys can see here, it's literally going to be a fast-firing pistol SMG. Overall, a great secondary to have on any class that you can run around like this is a primary. Now, we are going to rock munitions box, scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset to hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier, ghost to keep us off the radar, and the comms vest, which is very, very important here in Respawn because every time you kill somebody and run over their body, they're dropping a radar beacon, letting you know where everybody is in your vicinity. And because the spawns on Modern Warfare 3 are literally terrible, some of the worst I've ever seen, this is going to keep you alive more often than not. Overall, the SOA Subverter is a fantastic weapon to use. It's brand new, so there's really no reason to go ahead and shake up the meta with a new battle rifle that can compete against the BAS-B and other assault rifle users. Now, for class setup number 2, we're taking a look at the MCW. This is going to be a suppressed class, so you guys can build up a quick and easy streak and potentially drop your first nuke. Now, for the muzzle, we are going to make a return to the VT7 Spiritfire suppressor. This is a fantastic attachment on the MCW, not only taking us off the radar, which makes getting streaks a lot easier, but we are also going to be bumping up that long range performance with increased recoil control, bullet velocity, and much needed damage range here. This is a great attachment to run on this rifle. We are skipping over the barrels. These are not going to be helping us out. Unfortunately, after the nerfs this weapon received at the start of Season 2, these are no longer a viable option. Now, we are going to run an underbarrel on this build, and I recommend you guys going ahead and rocking the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop on the MCW to smooth out the recoil pattern as much as possible by giving us increased gun kick and vertical recoil control. But we are going to be going ahead and bumping up close range performance with increased sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. This weapon did receive a lot of sprint out speed nerfs, so we're going to go ahead and correct that as much as possible with a couple of these attachments. Now, because this gun is going to be a stealth build, but at the same time we are going to be running and gunning in their spawn, I highly recommend running a magazine, and we are going to be utilizing the 60 round drum here. This is going to be a nice attachment on the MCW, allowing us to wipe out the entire team and keep on moving. Definitely a great option with a low recoil gun. Now, we are going to be running a rear grip on this build as well, and I recommend running the RECOIL PSL. This is a fantastic attachment when you also couple it with another RB attachment on this setup. We're going to have increased firing aiming stability, gun kick control, and recoil control. Definitely do not miss out on these benefits. It's going to be helping us out tenfold, especially at those medium ranges, and that's where the MCW is going to shine. And then finally, we are going to be running a stock on this build, and we're going to be rocking the RB Regal Heavy stock. Overall, a staple attachment on the MCW. Even though this did receive a nerf, it's still going to be working wonders, giving us increased gun kick, recoil control, and tac stand spread. This is a nasty build if you're trying to go ahead and have a setup that can work at virtually any range, but it's going to be shining at those medium ranges. We are not utilizing an optic on this setup. Once you jump in the fire range, you're going to see here that even though we have a 60 round mag, the ADS is going to be respectable, and we are going to be having very, very controllable recoil even after the nerf. Do not sleep on the MCW. I know there's a lot of other weapons to use here in Modern Warfare 3, but this is definitely something that I've been using a lot more recently, and I've also been seeing some other players in matches rock the MCW as well. It's making a little bit of a return. Now, for the men in the build, again, we have on the Core 45 the same exact attachments I run on my last class setup with the SOA Subverter. We have the conversion kit. We're running the 40 round drum. We have the exoskeletal vertical grip, the Colossus Suppressor XS, as well as the XRK Dynamic Precision stock. Now, again, we are still going to be running munitions box, scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset, ghost, as well as the comms vest here, which is going to be the best vest in the game. This is a nasty setup that I feel is definitely going to be a part of the meta after this reloaded update, because a lot of players are now kind of returning to kind of slower paced gameplay, which is understandable, but it's nice to go ahead and have a stealth build that you can get behind their spawn, build a quick and easy streak, and drop some nukes. So definitely check out the MCW as soon as you can. For class step number 3, we're taking a look at one of my favorite guns to use in the entire game. This recently received a buff, and the SVA 545 is nasty. I just made a video on this weapon, as you guys know I had to include it in the top 5. Now, for the muzzle, we are going to be rocking the T51R billeted break. The only downside about this class, it is going to be a loud and proud setup, so people are going to know where you are on the radar when firing, but it doesn't matter. This weapon is going to be packing a serious punch. We're going to have increased vertical recoil control, firing aiming stability, and gun kick control with this nasty attachment. Now, we are going to run a barrel on this setup, and the STV precision barrel is just going to be amazing here. We're having increased aim auto sway controllability, bullet velocity and range, gun kick control, as well as recoil control here. This weapon is seriously going to have 0 recoil and the ability to be able to run and gun because it now has an even faster ADS. Why they buffed this, I have no idea. It's already meta in Warzone, and it just became hard meta in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. Now, to go ahead and completely remove the recoil, we are going to run an underbarrel, and the Bruin Heavy support grip is going to be phenomenal on this AR. Going ahead, smoothing out that recoil pattern with that increased gun kick control, aim-out-of-sway controllability, horizontal recoil control, and more firing aiming stability. This is a point-and-shoot laser that you can use at literally any and all ranges. Now, we are going to run an optic on this setup, and obviously the Jack glasses is going to be the way to go, giving us a clean optic picture, removing a lot of the visual recoil, and also giving us firing aiming stability. Everything we need, literally everything we need on a rock solid medium to long range weapon we have with this class. And then finally, we are going to utilize a stock, and the main V6 is going to be so good here, giving us increased recoil control as well as gun kick control here. Do not sleep on this attachment. Once you jump into firing range, you're going to see that the SVA 545, we have no increasing ADS. Look at how fast this is, and it doesn't move. Like this doesn't move. This is one of the best guns in the entire game. Honestly, probably the best assault rifle right now. Again, the only negative about this build is we can't run a suppressor on here if you want to completely remove the recoil, which I know a lot of you want to do. Men in the build we have on the Core 45, same exact attachments as my last two class setups, and we are going to be rocking the munitions box, scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset, ghost, as well as the comms vest. So we can go ahead and have that 24/7 UAV effect every time you kill somebody and run over their body. This setup is nasty. Use it right now. This is going to be the multiplayer demon as far as the assault rifle category goes. This is disgusting. Hopefully don't go ahead and revert the buff, because honestly, I think it might have been a little too much. For class setup number 4, we're taking a look at the WSP Swarm. Now, this setup I'm about to show you guys is disgusting. I don't know why it's as good as it is. Personally, this might get nerfed. Now, use it before it might happen, but we are going to be skipping over the muzzles on this setup. We are not going to run them. You're going to see why in the firing range. Now, we are going to run a barrel, and we're going to be rocking a familiar attachment, the WSP Reckless 90 long barrel. This is a great attachment, bumping up full velocity and range, aim-out-of-sway controllability, gun kick control, and recoil control. We're going to need it on the WSP Swarm because this gun has high vertical as well as horizontal recoil. We want to go ahead and mitigate that as much as possible. Now, we are going to be running an underbarrel on this setup, and this is going to be an attachment that I have never recommended on the WSP Swarm, but it's going to work out flawlessly. We are going to be rocking the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop. Yes, I'm recommending the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop on the WSP Swarm to attempt to smooth out the recoil pattern, giving us that increased vertical recoil, gun kick control, as well as sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Overall, a great attachment for this submachine gun. Now, we are going to be running a magazine on this build, and we're going to be rocking the 100 round drum. This is going to be a fantastic attachment on this class because we're going to be constantly pushing the spawn and going crazy. 100 is overkill. Yes, I understand that, but it's better to have more ammo than run out. Now, we are going to be running an optic on this setup, and I highly recommend running the Jack glassless optic on this setup to further bump up that recoil control with increased firing aiming stability, precision sight picture, obviously it's a little bit easier to use at longer ranges, and removing a lot of that visual recoil, which is going to be helpful with controlling a lot of the horizontal recoil this weapon does have. So definitely have this on your setup. And then finally, we are going to utilize a stock, and I recommend running the FSS Fortress Heavy stock, which is going to be drastically improving that gun kick control, recoil control, firing aiming stability, and tac stand spread. Now, once you go ahead and jump in the firing range with this build, you are going to be blown away because we still have a respectable ADS for a submachine gun, but I mean, dude, it doesn't... The recoil is controllable. I mean, this is crazy on a WSP Swarm setup. Now, let's say you don't want to run the 100 round drum. You can go ahead and bump this down to, let's say, the 40, because realistically 40, you can get the job done with 40. You're gonna have an even faster ADS here and a submachine gun that is incredibly controllable. This is a nasty build that you guys cannot go wrong with. You guys are gonna absolutely love it no matter what attachment you decide to equip. Now, do not forget to rock the Core 45, same exact class as my previous 3 other setups, and we are gonna rock munitions box, scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset, ghost to keep us off the radar, and the comms vest, which is gonna be even more important on a submachine gun setup. This is filthy. The WSP Swarm has always been a meta SMG, and with this class setup, I'm telling you guys this right now, if you're a run and gun type of player, you guys are gonna really enjoy this. And finally, for class setup number 5, we're taking a look at the Striker. This is gonna be a suppressed SMG you can use if you're trying to run and gun, but also take people out at very long ranges. We're starting off with the muzzle, and I highly recommend running just the Shadow Strike Suppressor S. All we need to do is take ourselves off the radar. That's it. We don't need anything else that's going to be reducing that aim down sight speed, because we definitely do not want that to happen. Now, we are going to run a barrel on this build, and I'd recommend running the Striker Recon Long Barrel to drastically improve that bullet velocity and range and aim out of sway controllability. If you want to extend this weapon's long-range potential and outgun assault rifle users, it's in your best interest to have this on your class setup at all times. Now, we are going to be running an underbarrel on this build, and I do recommend you guys rocking the FTAC MSP 98 hand stop. I understand some people might not have this attachment unlocked. Get it unlocked through the armory system immediately, because it is one of the better attachments to run on submachine guns that don't typically have a lot of recoil but need some controllability under the vertical as well as gun kit control compartment. Now, we are going to be going ahead and bumping up more aim walking speed and movement speed, which is very important on a submachine gun that you can still run and gun with. So definitely go ahead and have this equipped. It's going to be phenomenal on the Striker. Now, we are going to be running an optic on this build, and I highly recommend running the Jet Glassless. The iron sights are okay, but in my personal opinion, any weapon that you can use at longer ranges without having any necessarily penalties of running an optic, we're gonna go ahead and do so. The only exception would be like the MCW, but on the Striker, the Jet Glasses is gonna be very important, giving us that clean optic picture, removing a lot of that visual recoil, and then obviously going ahead and helping out with the firing aiming stability. And then finally, for the last attachment, we are going to go ahead and rock a stock on this build in kind of a 2-for-1 setup. We're going to rock the Lockman Recon Series stock, which is going to double as a rear grip also, but giving us increased gun kick control, aim out of sway controllability, and recoil control. This is a great attachment to run on the submachine gun, technically AR hybrid. Now, we are not going to be running a magazine on this setup. We're not really going to need it because a lot of the other attachments are going to be reigning precedence. Once you jump into the firing range, you're going to see that we have a class setup that has a respectable ADS, and I mean, guys, it doesn't move. This is a phenomenal class you cannot sleep on. It is amazing. For the remainder of the build, we are going to go ahead and rock the Core 45, same exact attachment as my other 4 setups, and we are running munitions box, scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset to hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier, as well as ghost to keep us off the radar, and do not forget to rock that comms vest, which is going to act like a 24/7 UAV, allowing us to see where people are at every time you run over somebody's body and kill them. Man, this is going to be nasty, especially on a running gun and also long range build. Now, these are going to be the top 5 best guns to use here in Modern Warfare 3 after the Season 2 Reloaded update. If there are 2 classes I want you guys to check out right now, do not sleep on the SOA Subverter. This is a phenomenal battle rifle that is going to be replacing the Bass B. You guys see, I don't even have the Bass B in my top 5 because I'm promoting the SOA Subverter so much now. It's that good. And also, fellas, the SVA 545, this is the real deal. This thing is disgusting. You are going to be dropping your first nuke or a lot of kills with this class setup because it is doing everything an AR should be doing. Close range, medium range, long range, you're punishing MCWs, you're punishing Hoger 556, you're punishing submachine gun players. It's going to be putting in some serious work. If you guys enjoy, feel free, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, and let me know down in the comment section if you guys end up dropping your first nuke or at least a high kill gameplay with any of the class setups in my video. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.